I gotta do my public calls real quick.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. This will be case 8225-712-967, State of Michigan versus Alexander Eugene Hunt. Your name for the record, please.
Detective Jennifer Genola with the Canton Police Department, badge number 4663.
And do you swear or affirm the testimony you'll provide in this matter will be true?
I do.
And are you testifying from personal knowledge or from an investigative report?
From the investigative report that I prepared.
Thank you. Feel free to proceed.
Okay. On June 6, 2025, Officer Lakatos and Officer Jopi were dispatched to 41275 Old Michigan Ave, Sherwood Lot 61 in the Township of Canton for a welfare check on Samantha Dickens. Dispatch advised the reporting person, Louis Janaj, was a friend of Samantha's and received a text message from her stating, "If anything happens to me, call the police." Samantha also sent Louis her current location, to which was trailer 61. Officers arrived on scene and made contact with Samantha, who reported a domestic violence strangulation report. Samantha stated that she had gotten into a verbal argument with her fiance, arrestee Alexander Hunt, about infidelity. Samantha stated that the verbal argument then turned physical and led to her being strangled by Alexander. Samantha stated that she has been romantically involved with Alexander for 1 month and they moved in together at Lot 61 yesterday. Samantha stated the incident occurred between the hours of midnight to 4 a.m. on today's date. Samantha expressed the incident started as a verbal argument in the back bedroom over infidelity allegations. Samantha stated her and Alexander attempted to have consensual intercourse when Alexander started accusing her of cheating on him with Louis Gana. The argument then turned physical when Alexander open hand punched Samantha in the mouth with the palm of his right hand. Samantha stated she was able to break away and run down the hallway into the kitchen. Samantha stated while she was running down the hallway, Alexander pushed her multiple times. Once the two reached the kitchen, Samantha stated Alexander proceeded to grab the back of her hair and pull her to the ground. Once Samantha was on the kitchen floor, she stated Alexander proceeded to wrap his right arm around her and grab her throat from behind. Samantha advised Alexander was positioned behind her while the strangulation occurred. Samantha stated she was strangled for under 2 minutes, and while being strangled, Alexander stated, "Be quiet, don't wake the neighbors." Samantha stated she began pounding her fists on the kitchen floor in an attempt to stop the strangulation. At one point, Samantha stated she lost both her vision and her hearing for an unknown period of time. After the strangulation/suffocation, Alexander left the kitchen and went into his bedroom. Samantha stated she attempted to text and call Louis, but was only able to send him her location. Samantha stated during the physical altercation, she felt in fear of imminent harm. While Samantha was suffocated, she stated she felt like she was going to die. Officer Jopi had contact with Alexander. Alexander stated he and Samantha engaged in a verbal argument, and in an attempt to calm Samantha down, he hugged her from behind. Alexander stated he was holding her arms down and that Samantha began to scream. Alexander advised that the verbal argument was on and off again for a few hours. Alexander was very adamant that besides hugging Samantha, there was no physical altercation. Officer Lakatos observed abrasions to Samantha's right upper cheek, right side of her neck, and a laceration to her right pointer finger with dried blood. Samantha stated she does wish to prosecute. Alexander was placed under arrest for DV strangulation and was transported to the Canton Police Department without incident.
Thank you. I do find probable cause to sign the warrant, and as soon as the defense attorneys come out of the breakout rooms doing interviews, we can move forward with the arraignment.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So on the weekends, on the out county ones, they give us these sheets on the front, right? So you just write in your bond amount and your bond conditions here, and then they'll print out a minute that needs to be signed. but you can just write it on here as we're doing the framing. And like for this one, you know, it's a strangulation DV, so clearly there's going to be a no contact order, right? So I can already go ahead and write that in ahead of time, and then get to what the rest of it is once we do the arraignment.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the first time they wanted to do it like that.
What was different? What's it doing?
With all these breakout rooms.
Which room?
Because like she's going, you can see her going through doing them, but um, I don't know. It might be 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. You know. In the meantime, I'm gonna go get a snack.
Oh, okay.
We'll be right back.
I just like called them and I'm supposed to make a date.
All right, Ms. Markovich, how can I help you?
Yes, good morning. I am here on Keelan Copeland.
Oh, okay. All right, we probably won't get to Detroit for a minute, so you can stick around, or if you want to zoom back in, that's fine.
Can you quantify a minute? Like, are you thinking an hour?
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, 12 o'clock would be the earliest, I would think.
Okay, I will be back then. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
If something changes, I better go back on.
Okay. Steven Center. On the last interview. Hmm? 4. Hmm. Whenever they're done interviewing. So it looks like she's interviewing Wayne right now. And if that's the last one, then when she comes back, we can start going. So we've got 9 counties. That's an unusual amount.
10, you got 10.
10.
You got 10. I got 10 set emails.
But normally it's more somewhere between 3 and 5.
Wait a minute.
Did you didn't do, no, you didn't do one. I got 10
Hmm?
sent emails right here. Can I call them out so you can make?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Rutledge,
Give me the cities.
Dearborn, Rutledge,
Mm-hmm.
Wyandotte, Tomlinson,
Okay.
Redford, Duval.
Yep.
I got, first Westland is the PPO Collins.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have Hunt with, Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
Garden City, Howard,
Mm-hmm.
Westland, Poteet.
Westland. What's the name on that Westland?
Poteet, P-O-T-E.
Yeah. Got that one.
Okay. Westland, Yarborough.
Yep.
Van Buren Township, Disney,
Mm-hmm.
and then Wayne Castellani Jr.
That's the one I'm missing.
You don't have one?
Nope.
Castellani.
Unless there's, oh, it's on here.
There you go,
My fault.
okay. I know I had 10 emails. Okay, now we on the same thing.
And let's see what we can do while we're waiting on council. And Wayne, can we do the swear to?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay, good morning. This will be case 8225-712-942, State of Michigan versus Anthony Emilio Castellani Jr. Your name for the record, please.
Sergeant Nicholas Baruta.
And do you swear or affirm the testimony you provide in this matter will be true?
I do.
And are you testifying from personal knowledge or from an investigative report?
From an investigative report.
Thank you. Feel free to proceed.
All right, on 6 5/2025 at 4:19 p.m., Wayne officers Zavitz and Sergeant Talmadge were dispatched to 5027 South Wayne Road for a domestic assault complaint. Upon arrival, Officer Zavitz observed victim Kelsey Kraft to be standing in the alleyway east of the residence. The victim stated that she and the defendant were sitting on the couch together talking about an upcoming court date she had. While sitting on the couch and talking, the defendant became upset with her and they began to argue. The victim said that out of nowhere, while arguing, the defendant grabbed her by the neck with both hands and began to strangle her. The victim showed officers her neck, which showed slight bruising on the left side and an approximate 3 to 4 inch scratch with bruising on the right side of her neck. The victim also showed officers her left bicep, which sustained several large bruises that were sustained during the tussle between her and defendant Anthony Castellani. The victim said that she could not breathe due to being strangled and almost passed out. The victim said she was at some point able to kick the defendant off of her after they tussled on the ground and was able to exit the house. The officers interviewed the defendant on scene, who stated that the victim was upset. He was attempting to calm her down. The defendant placed his hand on the victim's shoulder and neck area as he normally would to calm her down. The victim became more upset and began to punch the defendant. The defendant stated that he was punched with a closed fist multiple times to the face. The defendant noted that his glasses were broken due to being punched in the face by the victim. Officer Zavitz observed the defendant's face to be red and irritated where the defendant's glasses sat on the bridge of his nose. The defendant admitted he grabbed the victim by the neck and took her to the ground in an attempt to stop the victim from assaulting him. The defendant stated he did not squeeze tightly when he had the victim by the throat, just enough of a grip to control the victim. The defendant was arrested for domestic violence strangulation. Per the defendant's criminal history, he had one prior conviction for domestic violence, March 6, 2024, out of Van Buren Township.
Thank you. I do find probable cause to sign the warrant, and as soon as defense counsel gets done with interviews, we can do the arraignment.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Garden City, do we need to do a swear to?
Morning, Your Honor. Detective Sergeant Cruz.
Good morning. This will be 8225-712-984. State of Michigan versus Austin Frederick Howard. Your name for the record, please.
Detective Sergeant Cruz, CRUZ.
And do you swear or affirm the testimony you'll provide in this matter will be true?
Yes.
And are you testifying from personal knowledge or from an investigative report?
Investigative report, no.
Thank you. Feel free to proceed.
Your Honor, on 6/5/25, officers Minch, Berkowitz, and Marcian were dispatched to Hartel and Rush in Garden City for an active fight between two adult males. On arrival, officers made contact with an involved male, Anthony Reith, and a witness, Curtis Workman. While speaking with officers, Reith continued to scream towards Hartel and Warren, where the defendant, who was also identified as part of the fight, Austin Howard, was standing. Officers attempted to de-escalate the situation at that time, and Howard returned to his residence at 28611 Warren, which is two residences south of Hartel and Warren, where the argument was taking place. Officers began interviewing Workman and Reith at that time. Workman, who was a witness and resident at 28603 Warren in Garden City, which is on the corner of Warren and Hartel, stated he was in the living room with his daughter when he heard and observed both Howard and Reith arguing and fighting outside of his home on the sidewalk. Workman reported the altercation on his cell phone. Workman witnessed Howard lift his shirt during the altercation with Reith and expose a concealed black handgun in Howard's waistline and putting his hand on it. Workman further observed Howard concealing the handgun by closing his shirt over it. Workman also observed Howard, quote unquote, swinging on Reith, and Workman states his peace was disturbed as a result of this incident. Officer Marcian did review the cell phone footage, and he observed Howard, Reith, and James Fry, who was known from prior contacts, on the sidewalk on Hartel, south of Warren and Garden City. P.O. Marcian observed Howard and Reith arguing with Fry, attempting to separate them. Officer Marcian states he observed the black grip of a handgun protruding from the front of Howard's waistband. P.O. Marcian also observed Howard concealing the handgun by lifting his shirt over it. Additionally, Howard and Reith can be seen going back and forth, aggressing one another in this video, and Reith is observed to be in a fighting stance with his fist balled. P.O. Marcian noted that the encounter does not show Howard at any point on his own residential property, and the altercation takes place on the public sidewalk in front of 28603 Warren. At that time, Reed became upset and left in his vehicle prior to being interviewed. Officer Mitch did query the defendant Howard for his CPL status and lien, and for registered firearms, revealing that his CPL was expired on 7/14/2018, and he does have several firearms registered to his person. Officer Marcian made contact with Howard, who had returned to his residence and was sitting on the porch. The defendant Howard indicated he was cutting his grass. When Reed drove by his home and yelled profanities at him, Howard claimed Reed stepped onto his property and threatened his life. Howard denied having a firearm or following Reed towards Warren and Martell. P.O. Marcian advised Howard that he observed the altercation on video and confronting him regarding his statements. P.O. Marcian placed Howard under arrest for CCW. At that time, Howard made several excited utterances while in custody, including he was open carrying his pistol and not meaning to conceal it. He has a license for the gun and it was lawfully purchased, and he at one point had a valid CPL. Officer Marcian spoke with Howard's wife, Kristen Howard, and she consented to officers going into the basement of the residence and recovering Howard's black and silver Springfield XD 9mm handgun from the gun safe. The firearm was located in an inside the waistband concealed carry gun holster and contained 16 9mm rounds of ammunition in the magazine and an empty chamber. Kristen advised officers that the recovered handgun was the only handgun that Howard owns. The firearm was run via lien, showing no record. P.O. Marcian also located a photograph of Howard via Facebook where he's carrying an identical firearm with holster in his waistband. Officer Marcian spoke with additional witnesses, Amber Morton, who was Workman's wife, who observed the altercation take place in front of their residence at the corner of Warren and Hartel. He spoke with Caden Daniels, who was the son of Amber. He observed and heard the altercation between Howard and Reed, and he observed the black handle of a firearm protruding from Howard's pants. He also spoke with the initial caller, John Fleming, who observed Reed park his car on Hartel and begin to walk towards Howard's residence. He observed the altercation between Reed and Howard, but did not see the firearm due to the distance. P.O. Marcian did contact Anthony Reed by telephone and said that he yelled at Austin because his vehicle was improperly parked in the driveway, causing a blind spot. Anthony was returning home and observed that Austin had moved his vehicle and illegally parked it on Hartel, close to the intersection. Anthony parked on Hartel and walked to Austin's house to apologize to him for the way he handled the previous parking complaint and asked him to move his vehicle again. Anthony said that Austin was waiting for him on the front porch. Anthony said that he was on the sidewalk when the defendant called his neighbor James out to help beat up Anthony. Anthony said that the defendant followed him and brandished a firearm at him. And Anthony said that the defendant exposed the firearm in his waistband and grabbed it. Anthony said that the defendant never pulled the handgun out. Anthony said that James was trying to break up the fight, and Anthony said that he did not believe that Austin would have shot him, and that the defendant never hit him. Austin did not desire a complaint. I later spoke with Reed on 6/6/25. I had a body-worn camera interview with him. He advised that he had a previous altercation with Howard due to his dog urinating on Howard's front lawn as he was walking by. Reed explained that earlier in the day on 6/5/25, he drove past Howard's residence and verbally confronted him regarding Howard's parked car being positioned in a way that prevented him from viewing oncoming traffic. Reed stated he and Howard exchanged words and he admitted to calling Howard a faggot. Reed states he later returned to Howard's residence on foot with the intention of apologizing, but also addressing parking issues. He spoke with the defendant who was on the front porch while Reed was standing on the sidewalk during the encounter. Howard stood up and brandished his concealed firearm from his front waistband. Reed described the firearm as a black semi-automatic handgun. Reed and Howard continued to argue, and Howard called for his neighbor, James Fry, to help beat up Reed. Reed stated he walked backwards on the sidewalk along Warren with his arms up, defending himself as Howard followed him to the corner of Warren and Hartel while throwing punches at him. Howard never removed the firearm from his waistband nor verbally threatened to shoot him. However, he was aware of the firearm and feared Howard would produce it if he fought back. Per Reed, when officers arrived on scene, Howard retreated to his residence and he suspects Howard stashed the firearm.
Thank you. I do find probable cause to sign the warrant, and as soon as the defense attorney comes back from the breakout rooms, we'll do the arraignment.
Yes, sir.
here from Westland. And Wyandotte, do we need to do the swear to?
Yes, I do need to do the swear to.
Okay, great. This will be 8225-712-816, State of Michigan versus Jake Owen Tomlinson. Your name for the record, please.
Detective Chelsea Haskett.
And do you swear or affirm the testimony you'll provide in this matter will be true?
I do.
And are you testifying from personal knowledge or from an investigative report?
An investigator's report.
Thank you. Feel free to proceed.
On June 4th, 2025, at about 9:30 p.m., Officer Brad Smith reported he and Officer Alex Staffikis were on patrol in a fully marked patrol vehicle in the area of Biddle Ave and Goddard Road in Wyandotte when they observed a white male southbound Biddle Ave on a mini bike. Officer Smith reported the mini bike did not have a headlamp and was later observed to not have a license plate. Officer Smith reported that their fully marked patrol vehicle was then positioned behind the mini bike, where the overhead emergency lights and audible siren were activated as they initiated a traffic stop. Officer Smith further reported that the rider of the mini bike, later identified as Jake Tomlinson, refused to stop and continued southbound Biddle Ave. Officer Smith reported that Tomlinson looked back at officers several times but disregarded them and continued. Tomlinson approached Alkali Street where he attempted a U-turn on Biddle Ave, where he and the mini bike fell to the roadway. Officer Smith reported that he and Officer Staffikis exited their vehicle and attempted to apprehend Tomlinson, where he attempted to pick up the mini bike and flee again. Officer Staffikis then deployed his department-issued taser to Tomlinson to no avail. Tomlinson was subsequently arrested by Officer Staffikis and Smith.
Thank you. I do find probable cause to sign the warrant. And again, once the defense attorney comes back, we can get the arraignments done.
Okay, thank you.
Sometimes these will have already been sworn to, but most of the time we have to do them. And that's going to be Sergeant Compton. Sergeant Compton, can we
Yes,
do
sir.
your swear to?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, sounds good. This will be 8225-712-974, State of Michigan versus Ronald Deshaun Yarborough. Your name for the record.
Sergeant James Compton from the Westland Police Department.
And do you swear or affirm the testimony you'll provide in this matter will be true?
I do.
And are you testifying from personal knowledge or from an investigative report?
An investigator's report.
Thank you. Feel free to proceed.
Your Honor, on June 5th, 2025, at approximately 10:28 p.m., Westland police officers Edney and Sanner were on patrol in the area of Michigan Avenue and Henry Ruff when they observed a 2005 Volvo XC40 traveling west on Michigan Avenue. Officer Edney observed that the driver was not wearing the seatbelt and that the passenger was not wearing her seatbelt either. They followed behind the vehicle and observed the vehicle to be bouncing off of the white fog lines in the roadway and following too closely to the vehicle that was in front of them. They did a lane query of the vehicle's plate, which revealed that the vehicle was uninsured. They initiated a traffic stop on the vehicle and made contact with the driver, Ronald Yarborough, who provided a Michigan driver's license. Mr. Yarborough was determined had a warrant out of the 36th District Court. They asked Mr. Yarborough to exit the vehicle. He complied. He gave them consent to search his person, which time Officer Edney conducted a search of his person and located in his right pants pocket a knotted baggie containing 12 grams of suspected crack cocaine. Mr. Yarborough was placed under arrest. A search of the vehicle was conducted further, which revealed a digital scale and baggies in the center console of the vehicle. Mr. Yarborough was arrested, taken to the Westland Police Department, where Sergeant Egan with the Special Investigations Unit conducted a preliminary analysis of the suspected crack cocaine, which tested positive for the presence of cocaine. Sergeant Egan then conducted a Mirandized interview with Yarborough, in which he admitted that he did possess the cocaine, that the cocaine was for sale, and that he was trying to sell the cocaine for $700 to pay for probation fees that he is currently on.
Thank you. I do find probable cause to sign the warrant, and as soon as our defense counsel comes out of the breakout rooms, we can do the arraignment.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Yeah. Van Buren's.
Oh, she said she was done. She told me to press join. I'm in court now, so do I go first or do I leave out? Okay. I just didn't know.
Ms. Stevenson, how are you?
Fine, thank you, Your Honor. Everybody that I can do, I have done. I still have something over here from, I guess it's Romulus, Mr. Disney. I don't know if they've zoomed in, but everybody that was in there has been interviewed.
Yeah, he's in Van Buren, and he's sitting there, but why don't we do some of these arraignments and then you can interview him.
Sounds good.
So let's start with Canton. That'll be Alexander Hunt.
Okay, okay.
I think you want Alexander Kent. I don't think you. Oh.
Morning, Mr. Hunt. Your name for the record, please.
Alexander Hunt.
Thank you. This will be case 8225-712-967, State of Michigan versus Alexander Eugene Hunt. Counsel.
For the record, Your Honor, Janice Stevenson appearing on behalf of Alexander Hunt. He stands mute, waives a reading of the information as to the plea of not guilty. Be entered on his behalf. Mr. Hunt has been advised of his rights, Your Honor.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond and his place of residence, because I believe this is one where they were living together.
Yeah, the information I have, Your Honor, is that the complaining witness lives in a totally separate city, that the location of the alleged incident is Mr. Hunt's home, and that the complaining witness at the most was a guest, temporary guest, and that she's not living there, not at that location at this time. Mr. Hunt is 27 years old, Your Honor. He is gainfully employed, works at a local quick serve restaurant from 4 p.m. until 2 a.m. Saturday through Tuesday. He does not have any money to post as bond, Your Honor. The only criminal history, or not even criminal history, only contacts that I'm aware of is some traffic matters that Mr. Hunt has been working to resolve. So he needs to have absolutely no contact with any witness. It's a very serious nature of these charges, not trying to lose his job or the home, which he just acquired just a couple of days ago. He'd be asking the court for release on personal bond, Your Honor. Understands he should have no contact with any witness.
And Detective Dickens, what's your understanding of the residence of the parties here?
Your Honor, the victim had just moved in a day prior. I did ask her if she would be able to leave or if she planned on staying there since she just moved in there with him, and she did not give me an answer.
Okay. So, Ms. Stevenson.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any thoughts on Mr. Hunt's living arrangements pending the next hearing?
Yeah, so Your Honor, Mr. Hunt does understand that the court order is that he have absolutely no contact with the complaining witness. I'm certain that if the only way he can get out of jail is to go live somewhere else, then Mr. Hunt will make some alternate living arrangements. That'll be difficult, but that's what he knows that's what he'll have to do if that's the only way he can get out of custody. He has advised me, though, that he believes the complaining witness is not living there. I don't know if if the information that the detectives have is something that's been acquired after Mr. Hunt's arrest, but no objection and no contact. And if it's the order of the court that he not report to that location until it's determined that the complaining witness is not there, I believe that Mr. Hunt will be able to secure an alternate residence.
All right, Mr. Hunt, while this case is pending, you'll have no contact whatsoever with Ms. Dickens. Don't call her, don't text her, don't reach out to her on social media. Don't try and contact her through any other people. And additionally, you'll have no contact with the address on Old Michigan Avenue if she is still there. Is all of that understood, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. She shouldn't be here because it's my
Just
house.
yes or no, Mr. Hunt. Do you understand or do you not understand? Yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So if she has moved out while you've been locked up, then fine, you can go over there, but you're to have no role in, let's say, convincing her to move out. Is that clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Bond will be set in this matter at $10,000 personal. Next court date will be probable cause conference June 20th and preliminary exam June 27th, both in 35th District Court in Canton. Anything else for this record?
Nothing on behalf of Mr. Hunt, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nothing.
Thank you, Canton. Have a great day. All right.
All right.
Have a great day.
Thank you, bye.
Yeah. All right. And what we got here? Let's do Redford. Okay, yeah, let's do Redford. Your name for the record, please. Uh-oh, you're muted. Can you get the detective to help you unmute that? All right, let's do Wyandotte. And I think you're muted, Wyandotte. All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. And sir, what's your name, please?
Jay Tomlinson.
Thank you. This will be case 82-25-712-816, State of Michigan versus Jake Owen Tomlinson, counsel.
Janice Stevenson on behalf of Jake Tomlinson. He stands me laser reading of the information. After the plea of not guilty be entered on his behalf, Mr. Tomlinson has been advised of his.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Tomlinson is requesting release on personal bond. He's 21 years old, Your Honor. I don't have any adult criminal history that I am aware of. He's not on probation or parole at this time, to my knowledge, Your Honor. Mr. Tomlinson takes 3 medications twice a day for seizures. It's for that reason that he is not working right now, Your Honor. He is going to start working on a GED program, but he's really just trying to take care of his health. He has gotten his medication during incarceration, but I don't have any, again, recent criminal history, any adult criminal history. I did have something juvenile, but I don't even know what that is. But 21 years old, lives with his parents, understands he's got to go to court like he's supposed to, and I would request release on personal bond.
Thank you. Mr. Tomlinson, while this case is pending, you're not to operate any motor vehicle without a valid license. Bond will be set at $5,000 personal. Next court date is probable cause conference, June 18. Preliminary exam, June 26, both in 27th District Court in Wyandotte. Anything else for this record?
No, thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Yep.
All right, looks like Redford's ready. In Redford, what's your name, sir?
Aaron Duval.
Thank you. This will be case 8225-712-937, State of Michigan versus Aaron Michael Duval. Counsel.
Janice Stevenson, on behalf of Aaron Duval, he stands and waives the reading of the information. After the plea of not guilty entered on his behalf, Mr. Duval has been advised of his rights, Your Honor.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf. As to bond.
Mr. Duval is 39 years old, Your Honor. The priors that brought about the third offense notice are from 2008 and 2009. Mr. Duval has been working for the last 2 years as a mechanic. We understand that he would be prohibited probably from the consumption of alcohol, but definitely with the combination of alcohol and operating. I don't have anything since that 2009 OWI conviction are very serious charges, but you know, I don't know about a blood alcohol content. I don't know if there was any accident, anything like that. So I would have no objection to the prohibition against the consumption of alcohol, even the consumption, even driving. I'd ask for personal bond, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Duval, you are not to consume alcohol at any time while this case is pending. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
To assist you with that condition of bond, I'm going to put you on an alcohol tether. And bond will be set at $10,000 personal. Next court date is a probable cause conference, June 17. Preliminary exam, June 24, both in 17th District Court in Redford. Anything else for this record?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Duval. You're all set. Let's do Garden City. Sir, your name for the record.
Austin Frederick Howard.
Thank you. This will be case 8225-712-984, State of Michigan versus Austin Frederick Howard. Counsel.
Janice Stevenson, on behalf of Austin Howard, he stands mute, waives the reading of the information. After the plea of not guilty be entered on his behalf, Mr. Howard has been advised of his rights, Your Honor.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf. As to bond.
Mr. Howard is 34 years old, Your Honor. He owns a local carpentry business, has been running that LLC for at least the last 9 months. He does have 3 medications that he needs to take daily. He has gotten that medication. We thank the Garden City Police Department for their assistance with that. These are non-assaultive charges. Mr. Howard probably is going to be retaining counsel to move forward. We're asking for release on personal bond.
Thank you. Mr. Howard, while this case is pending, you're not to possess a firearm at any time. Is that clear, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. If you have any additional firearms in your home, you need to find somewhere else to put them while this case is pending. Additionally, you're to have no contact with Mr. Wright. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Court will set bond at $5,000 personal. Next court date, probable cause conference 6/16. Preliminary exam, June 23rd, both in 21st District Court in Garden City. Anything else for this record?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you, Garden City. Have a great day.
Thank you.
What do we got, Wayne? Let's do Wayne. And good morning, sir. What's your name, please?
Anthony Castellani, sir.
Thank you. This is case 8225-712-942, State of Michigan versus Anthony Emilio Castellani Jr. Counsel.
Janice Stevenson, appearing on behalf of Anthony Castellani. He stands mute, waives the reading of the information. After the plea of not guilty be entered on his behalf, Mr. Castellani has been advised of his rights, Your Honor.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf. As to bond and if we know where Ms. Kraft resides.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Castellani has advised me the complaining witness is not living at the location of the alleged, which is Mr. Castellani's apartment, Your Honor. 46 years old, Your Honor, gainfully employed. He does construction 3 to 5 days. Understand or has been advised that he should have absolutely no contact directly, indirectly, or through third parties with the complaining witness. Again, it's Mr. Castellani's representation that he believes that not at that location, and he would ask for permission to return home. Understands that if she's there, he'll have to live someplace else, and that's the only way he can get out of jail. No contact is clearly understood, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Castellani, is the sergeant still there with you?
Yes, he is, sir.
Hi, Sergeant, do you have any knowledge of where Ms. Kraft lives? Does she live somewhere else?
According to the officers on scene, yeah, she moved all of her stuff out the date of this incident, so she is somewhere else. This is his apartment.
Okay, thank you. Sir, while this, Mr. Castellani, while this case is pending, you have absolutely no contact with Ms. Kraft. Don't call her, don't text her, don't reach out to her on social media. Don't try to contact her through any third parties. Is that clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will set bond $10,000 personal. Next court date will be June 16, probable cause conference, June 23rd, preliminary exam, both in 29th District Court in Wayne. Anything else for this record?
No, thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Wayne. Have a great day.
Thank you. You as well.
Yep. Did you ever talk to Dearborn, Ms. Stevenson?
I did speak with Dearborn, Your Honor. Mr. Rutledge.
Okay. Yeah, they must have hung up. All right, well, let's do Westland. Looks like we've got Mr. Poteet there. Sir, what's your name in Westland?
This is actually Mr. Yarbrough. There are 3 in Westland.
Okay, let's start with Yarborough. Sir, your name for the record, please. Uh-oh, muted.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, Ronald Yarbrough. Good morning.
Good morning. This will be 8225-712-974, State of Michigan versus Ronald Deshaun Yarborough. Counsel.
Janice Stevenson, on behalf of Ronald Yarbrough, he stands to me, waives the reading of the asked that a plea of not guilty be entered on his behalf. Mr. Yarbrough has been advised of his rights, Your Honor.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Mr. Yarbrough is 27 years old, Your Honor. He is on probation right now for those have third notice offenses, Your Honor, but he only has money left to pay and is expecting to be discharged from probation on June 26th. He does have an upcoming meeting with a probation officer, so he knows that he's got to let them know what's going on with this. It's a non-assaultive. We believe the prison's no risk of flight since the probation supervision. We're asking for personal bonds, Your Honor.
Thank you. Sir, while this case is pending, you are not to use or possess any illegal drugs. Is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
$700 to pay off his probation expenses. Selling coke to pay off your probation expenses is not the best way to raise that money.
If that's what happened.
Bond will be set at
Ms. Shive right here. Ms. Shive's like, those are allegations, Your Honor. I hear
mere allegations. Mere
I
allegations.
hear reminding me right now.
Yes, and let's see, bond will be $10,000 personal, no use or possession of any drugs. Next court date will be probable cause conference, June 18, preliminary exam, June 26, both in 18th District Court in Westland. Thank you, Mr. Yarborough. You can step aside.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
No, it's okay.
Do we have the other two, or you want to do Van Buren?
No, I would rather finish, if it's okay, I'd rather finish Westland and go, because I still talk to, in West.
Okay. And I guess we'll have to get Dearborn to zoom back in to do the arraignment.
Your Honor, for Westland, we have to lock the prisoner back down before we get out another prisoner, so it'll be a minute or two in between prisoners.
Okay,
Oh, okay. You want to do the Van Buren interview then? Ms. Keith?
okay, yes.
Okay. Let's see. We go. Buren, room 1. Right.
Make her call.
Hmm?
Where'd you make her call?
Oh, so. Oh. Here's an option. I'll show you when, I can show you on one of these other ones, right? Okay. So then, like I say, he'll print the minutes and then we just sign them.
Okay.
Anytime somebody's in the main room, you can, these 3 dots here, you can click and one of your options is to make co-host.
I've been looking over because I haven't had it in notes, but I remember now.
Yeah. I think this does move a little faster doing it this way. Gentleman in Westland, what's your name, please?
My name is Jacob Poteet.
Okay. As soon as the defense attorney comes back from doing an interview, we'll get you taken care of.
All right, thank you.
Yep. And Detective Harrison, how are you?
Pretty good. We had to log in a different device because our in-house is not working right. If you could put us back in the interview or the breakout room for the gentleman.
Oh, okay. So the other one wasn't working?
Correct.
All right. Let me see. It's time to watch.
Were you able to get my stepmother's information?
Don't worry.
Okay, okay.
Got one guy after you.
All right, thank you.
What is your?
Cindy Morissette. Morris.
Mr. Jordan, how can I help you?
ETTE, I think.
Good morning, Your Honor. Your Honor, I will be appearing on 4 gentlemen this morning, but actually I only will be appearing for 1 after today. So for today's purposes, I will be arguing bond on all of the Walkers and Mr. Clay Stubbs.
Okay, that's that 5-bagger, right?
Yes. Out of that 5-bagger, the only one I will not be representing for today's purposes will be the very last gentleman mentioned on the complaint. And I told that to Mr. Reagan.
Okay, sounds good. We haven't quite gotten the DDC yet, but we should be there fairly soon.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Oh, and then I didn't do this right at 11, but generally you want to check.
Oh, yeah, if there's any other one came in.
See, there's another one.
Oh,
Contact number. Shit. The other one technically came in late, but I'll check.
Hello?
Hi, is this Detective Reyes Morales?
It is, sir.
Hi, this will be case 8225-713-021, State of Michigan versus Joshua Richard Redwine. Your name for the record, please.
Detective Heather Reyes Morales.
And do you swear or affirm that the testimony you'll provide in this matter will be true?
Yes.
And are you testifying from personal knowledge or from an investigative report?
Personal knowledge, it is my investigator's report.
Thank you. Feel free to proceed.
Okay. Possession of stolen motor vehicle, concealing or misrepresenting identity of motor vehicle. All available video is available and has been downloaded to evidence.com and shared with Wayne County prosecutors under the following ID 25060400178. Vehicles involved: stolen blue 2006 GMC Sierra pickup truck MILP EJZ0862, VIN number 2GTEK13Z1612700027, Detroit OCA 2506040178. Stolen retagged white 2004 Chevrolet Silverado 2500 pickup truck MILP DD59614, VIN number 1GCHK24U24E118338, Detroit OCA 2503280217. Stolen white 2020 Continental CA covered trailer MILP E196804, VIN number 5NHU TW625LN091968, Detroit OCA 2506050073. Commercial auto theft section members on scene: Sergeant Nicholas Dedalek, badge S1271, Detective Heather Reyes Morales, badge D4851, PO Ibrahim Kakish, badge 854, PO Gregory Fennick, badge 144. Circumstances: on Thursday, June 5th, 2025, at approximately 0130 hours, myself and the above listed members of Detroit Police Commercial Auto Theft Section, CATS, and members of Dearborn Police Special Operations Division were conducting surveillance in the area of Tyerman Street, Wyoming Street, for multiple stolen vehicle incidents, trailer thefts, and breaking and entering of businesses. The stolen white trailer referenced above was parked in the parking lot of the Family Dollar store located at 8916 Tyerman Street. Dearborn Special Ops officers previously witnessed, while on surveillance, the theft of the above-mentioned white trailer from 8706 Linden on 6/4/2025. The above-listed stolen blue 2006 GMC Sierra pickup truck was observed by Dearborn Special Ops as the suspect vehicle in that theft. Dearborn Special Ops officers followed the GMC Sierra, pulling the stolen trailer to the Family Dollar at Tyerman and Warren. The suspects parked and left the trailer there. The offender, previously identified as Joshua Redwine, black male, 8/5/1985, was seated in the driver's seat and operating the stolen retagged white Chevy Silverado referenced above. On 6/5/2025, Dearborn Special Operations officers observed the offender pull in front of the stolen trailer, attach it to the stolen truck, and begin driving east on Tyerman, then making an immediate northbound turn on Kentucky Street. Dearborn Special Operations observed the white truck and a tan Grand Marquis bearing MILP EUK 7108 following one another southbound on Wyoming Street to the Family Dollar location. Members of Dearborn Special Operations, CATS, Dearborn PD, and Detroit Police 2nd Precinct Special Operations effected a traffic stop on Kentucky Street just north of Tyerman Street on both the white stolen retagged truck pulling the stolen enclosed trailer as well as the Grand Marquis. Defendant Redwine was taken into custody without incident. A key for the Chevy Silverado was thrown on the floor of the Dearborn Scout car by the offender before it was recovered by Dearborn Police Officer Jordan Cobb. A dark colored iPad and mint green colored iPhone, both belonging to the offender, were recovered from the front seat of the Chevy Silverado and placed on evidence by Dearborn Special Operations. A female was seated in the front passenger seat of the white truck when the traffic stop was effected. Tyler Marie Looper, black female, 12191, 313-638-0680, was detained, then released at the scene. The individuals in the Grand Marquis were identified as Dominic White, black male, 81787, driver, and Zachariah Ballard, black male, 7/16/1998, front passenger. Mr. Ballard was detained, then released at the scene. Mr. White was taken into custody by Dearborn Police for a felony warrant out of Third Circuit Court. The VIN plate on the white Chevy Silverado appeared to be tampered with. The white Chevy Silverado and attached trailer were both towed to Rusco's Towing in Dearborn to be identified by CAT identification team members. The offender was transported to the Detroit Detention Center by Detroit Police Officers Austin Bochar, badge 1356, Zachary Simons, and Xavier Dolly, operating as Scout 230. Offender was transported without incident. Once that scene was cleared, members of CAT and Dearborn Special Operations made the location of Joy Road and Meditol, where Dearborn officers previously located the blue GMC Sierra. The ignition was punched and it had steering column damage. It was towed by Rusco's Towing out of Dearborn to their garage. Beginning on May 28, 2025, Dearborn Special Operations officers working in an undercover surveillance capacity observed defendant Redwine operating the stolen blue GMC Sierra. The GMC Sierra was observed again on May 29, 2025, being used to push a stolen GMC Yukon. It was observed again on June 4, 2025, used in the commission of stealing the white enclosed trailer referenced above. Investigation. Civilian investigation technician David Jakeway of CAT made Rusco's Towing Garage to identify the white Chevy Silverado. The true VIN 1GCHK24U24E118338 was located and came back to the stolen truck in the OCA listed above. On June 6, 2025, Officer Kakish and Officer Fennick made the DDC to interrogate the offender. He read and reviewed his constitutional rights and made a statement. The offender admitted to knowing the white Chevy truck was retagged with a fraudulent VIN and to driving the vehicle. He would not make a statement in regards to the blue truck. He also stated he bought the white trailer but would not provide any further details. That's it for that one.
Thank you. I do find probable cause. The package you sent over doesn't have a warrant in it. It's got a complaint but no warrant.
He sent me something else. The prosecutor complaint. Okay. Is there a direct email I can send this? The prosecutor sent me a separate email afterwards.
Okay.
It's got everything else you need.
If you can just send it back to the same email and I'll sign it when it gets here.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Give me 1 minute, Ms. Stevenson.
Yes, Your Honor.
What's up? Yeah. This thing's not working, so.
Hi, Detective. This is going to be case 8225-712-815, State of Michigan versus Dean Christopher Canterbury. Your name for the record, please.
Corporal Grim Mitchell, badge 140, assigned to the Detroit Narcotics Police Processing Unit.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you'll provide in this matter will be true?
I do.
And are you testifying from personal knowledge or from an investigative report?
An investigator's report.
Thank you. Feel free to proceed.
Okay, on June 4th, 2025, members of the Narcotics Enforcement Unit, Detroit executed a narcotics search warrant at 13229 Caldwell Street in the city of Detroit. And during the pre-raid surveillance, Lieutenant Gunsviller observed multiple individuals enter and leave the location. When the crew members arrived at the location, the front interior door was open. Presence and purpose was announced. And when there was no response, Sergeant Briggs ordered forced entry into the front door of the location. Crew members entered the location and encountered the defendant, Mr. Dean Christopher Canterbury, laying on a couch in the living room of the location where he was detained without incident. Once the location was deemed secure, Sergeant Briggs verbally advised the defendant of his Miranda rights. And Officer March searched and recovered the following narcotics from the dining room table and placed on evidence: 7 small Ziplocs containing crack cocaine, 1 Ziploc containing 9 small Ziplocs of oxycodone hydrochloride pills, 1 Ziploc containing 5 small Ziplocs containing suspected fentanyl ecstasy colorful pills, 1 Ziploc containing 5 small Ziploc containing alprazolam pills, 1 Ziploc containing 5 small Ziploc containing acetaminophen and oxycodone hydrochloride pills, 5 paper folds containing suspected cocaine, labeled soft, 6 paper folds containing suspected fentanyl, labeled pink, 23 lotto folds containing suspected fentanyl, labeled gray, 1 knotted bag of suspected fentanyl. Officer Moss searched and recovered packaging material, which encompassed 1 digital scale, 1 large Ziploc containing small Ziplocs, all from the dining room table. Officer Moss also searched and recovered a picture of a Cash App card with Dean, quote unquote, Dean Canterbury from the dining room table. Officer Zolkowski searched and recovered a ledger from the dining room table and placed on evidence. Corporal Samuel Choice, who's assigned to the Narcotics Prisoner Processing Unit, conducted a preliminary analysis of the recovered, narcotics. Excuse me. How do they have this? Okay, Corporal Choice conducted a chemical test for the 29 lotto folds and 1 knotted bag of suspected fentanyl, which tested positive, weighing 17.6 grams as packaged for the fentanyl. He conducted a True Narc test for the small Ziploc bags and lotto folds containing amount of suspected cocaine, which tested positive on scan 56320, weighing 5.5 grams as packaged for cocaine. And Poison Control Operator Mario confirmed the description of the pills as oxycodone hydrochloride, alprazolam, and acetaminophen and oxycodone hydrochloride pills.
Thank you. I do find probable cause to sign the warrant, and I've sent it on.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Let's see.
Hello?
Hi, Officer Bradley.
Yes, sir.
Hi, what's the correction on the Hammer case?
The date of birth, I was told, was incorrect, sir.
Oh, okay. You didn't sign the complaint on the corrected one. Can you sign it and send it back?
Oh, Lord. I'm so sorry. I'll do that right now.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. All right, where are we? All right, Ms. Stevenson, what are we ready to do?
We are ready for Mr. Yarbrough, and we're also ready for Van Buren Township. Maybe Yarbrough so that they can, switch them up and do the Van Buren.
I think we did Yarbrough.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Poteet.
Okay, let's do Poteet. Let's get him unmuted. Mr. Poteet, can you unmute, please?
I feel like I unmuted it.
Okay, and what's your name for the record, sir?
My name is Jacob Poteet.
Thank you. This will be case 82-25-712-943, State of Michigan versus Jacob Dale Poteet. Counsel.
For the record, Your Honor, Janice Stevenson appearing on behalf of Jacob Poteet, who stands mute, waives the reading of the information After the plea of not guilty be entered on his behalf, Mr. Potteet has been advised of his rights, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Your Honor, Mr. Potteet has given me an address completely separate from that of the location of the alleged. He would have absolutely no contact with that location. He would have no contact with the complaining witnesses, Your Honor. Mr. Potteet works Monday through Friday from 10 in the morning until 6 p.m. at a local window making establishment, Your Honor. As the court is aware, Mr. Potteet does have a pretty large bandage on his forehead, Your Honor. He's indicated that he sustained stitches as a result of this incident. So he doesn't want to have any contact with the complainants. They don't live at the same location, Your Honor. Mr. Potteet does have a prescription that he needs to take medication every day. He has not gotten his during his incarceration. He's requesting release on personal bond with no objection whatsoever to no contact with the witness, no objection whatsoever to no contact with the location of the alleged offender.
Thank you, Mr. Potteet. While this case is pending, you have no contact with Mr. Blair or Ms. Simmerer. That means don't call them, text them, don't reach out to them on social media, don't have anyone else contact them on your behalf. Is all that clear to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Additionally, you have no contact with a Pamela Court address. Is that clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will set bond at $20,000 personal. Next court date is a probable cause conference, June 18, preliminary exam, June 26, both in 18th District Court in Westland. Anything else for this record?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Your Honor, does that mean I have to spend 20,000?
No, it's a personal bond, but if you violate any of the conditions of bond, you can be picked back up and you may have to pay $20,000 to get back out.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right. So if it's going to take them a minute to bring the third person, why don't we do Van Buren?
Okay.
On which one?
Did you talk to Detective
Bradley.
Jessica Bradley, for the Detroit case?
Yes.
To resubmit something.
Yeah, she resubmitted it, but she didn't sign it, so she got to sign it and send it back.
She got to sign it and send it back. She resubmitted it, but she just got to sign it and send it back.
And Van Buren, are you ready?
She said only the
Yes.
warrant needed to be, the complaint was fine.
But she didn't sign a complaint.
She didn't sign the complaint. That's what wasn't signed. But she resubmitted it with the complaint wasn't signed.
So, yeah, okay. Are they gonna resend it or?
She's gonna call us back now.
Okay. Oh, I think I see what she's saying, though. The defendant's birth date is only on the warrant.
Yes.
Oh. All right. I'll sign it and then hopefully they can get going on it in the back. Can you call him back and tell him what's going on with it? Can you call him in the back and tell him what's going on with it?
She knew, she
Oh.
said, yeah, Lauren knew.
Okay,
Yeah, she said she's gonna call her detective back now.
okay. All right, so I just sent her the one that got resubmitted. All right. Okay, Van Buren and Detective, your name for the record, please.
Detective Dale Harrison.
And do you swear or affirm the testimony you provide in this matter will be true?
Yes.
And are you testifying from personal knowledge or from an investigative report?
Report.
Thank you. Feel free to proceed.
So this incident occurred on June 5th, 2025 at about 11:28 p.m. Van Buren Township patrol officers were sent to 44911 Eagle Forest Road, Van Buren Township, Wayne County, Michigan. Upon their arrival, they came into contact with the defendant and also his brother by the name of Joseph. At the time of the officers' arrival, they intervened where they found the two of them in the home. The defendant allegedly had what was described as a hatchet in his hand, and he apparently allegedly threatened his brother with it. The officers attempted to intervene, separate the two. They confronted the defendant. He was not responding to their direction. He ultimately had to deploy a taser and take Mr. David into custody by force. And he was ultimately charged with the assaulting, resisting aggravated assault, and the assault and battery on his brother.
Okay. Maybe I missed it. What's the injury to Joseph?
I don't see anything in the investigative report that indicates any injury reported.
So how do we get the serious or aggravated injury for count 2?
One moment. Again, sir, as far as injury goes, I don't see anything in the investigative report that indicates an injury. As a matter of fact, it indicates that he was not injured during the incident.
Yeah, I was just reading that. All right, well, I guess based on that, I'm going to have to deny the request at this point. Obviously, serious injury is an element of the number 2.
Correct.
So, yep. All right. If you want to get that changed and resubmit it for tomorrow, we'll be happy to deal with it then.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thanks.
Yep. That was Disney. Yeah. Okay. Are we ready on Westland?
Ready on Westland, Your Honor.
All right. And Tail, can you have Dearborn zoom back in so we can get them done?
Dearborn?
Yep.
Your Honor, the last Westland for Mr. Collins is a PPO violation.
Oh, okay. So you don't do those, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
I'm not sure that's what you gotta go. Okay,
Okay, great. All right, gentlemen in Westland, what's your name, please?
Victor Collins.
Thank you, sir. And let's see, this is going to be case number 25-106337, State of Michigan versus Victor Collins, alleging PPO violation, I believe. Looks as though PPO was entered May 29 of 2025. Was served personally on May 31, 2025 by Officer Ezel out of East Point. tracking. Apparently there was some sort of back and forth on June 6th at an address on Avondale. Avondale address appears to be the protected person's address. Conditions of the PPO are prohibited from assaulting, attacking, beating, molesting, wounding, interfering with efforts to remove children, or entering onto property where petitioner lives. All right. Court will remand Mr. Collins to the custody of the Wayne County Sheriff pending a PPO violation hearing in front of the PPO docket judge in Third Circuit Court first thing Monday morning. Thank you, sir. You're all set.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And that leaves Dearborn, right? Oh. Yeah, okay, so I signed that one. And, oh, I'm waiting on this one to come back. What was wrong with this one? It didn't have a warrant in it. That's what was wrong with it. Let's see if that's gonna time out. 6-5 at what time? 6-5 at 1:30 in the afternoon. So it'll time out tomorrow by the time we should be getting started. Hopefully she'll get it back today. But if not, we can get it done tomorrow. All right, what else are we waiting on? Dearborn, right? Were you able to get in touch with Dearborn? You said,
Yes, he said he's gonna bring it right back in.
Okay, sounds good.
He's going to get the prison.
Cool.
Not in there, and I come back out. So.
Okay. Let's see how the ADC is going.
Let me see. Can't tell. Let's see who I just heard them talking to. Number 2 on page 3. So if they're going in order, pages 1 and 2 are done. I'll double right now.
Okay, sounds good. How many are on page 3?
On page 3 right now, I have 8, and I see page 4 has been started.
Okay, thanks.
Huh?
Thank you. Sounds like 4. Now, on the weekends, the pages are only 8 per page, as opposed to 20 per page. So 3 pages would be 24. So we got at least 25, which is still a lot. Yeah.
Wow.
So we will just hold tight until Dearborn zooms in, I guess.
Off now.
Hmm.
You're off the record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll put this in the.
This fucking thing's still streaming. Wow.
Ms. Stevenson, you available? She made the interview in DDC.
I was actually on my way to walk in there to see if you see it, who's in that waiting room.
So the waiting room right now is Attorney Basant. I forget who he's got. Camilla Barkovich. I forget who she's got.
She got Copeland.
She's got Copeland. And someone whose screen name is Honey Bun, who's going to be
Yeah,
sitting
that
in the waiting
last
room the
one,
rest of
that has me a little nervous, so. Did Dearborn ever come back?
No, apparently they were having issues coming back, and then I tried to call them and I got a failed call signal, so I don't know what we can do with them.
Okay. All right.
Oh, so that was my question. Because you did interview them, right?
Correct.
So do you have any objection to doing it over speakerphone, or what's your position?
Yeah, no, I don't, because it's not, I wouldn't want him to sit there just because of that, so.
Okay. Well, we'll try to get the detective on, and we can do it right now.
Okay.
Detective Zachary? Hi, Detective Magistrate Boyer here. So it's looking like we're having trouble zooming into you as well. Okay. Can we do the swear to and the arraignment over speakerphone? Oh, wait, I just got you guys. Hold on.
There it is.
Right there. Yeah, okay, there you go. Okay. All right. So we can do it like this.
There's something up on the screen.
Okay.
Okay, it just has to count down like 15 seconds and I think it'll accept the.
Okay. And all right, Detective, your name for the record, please.
Detective Stephen Zachary.
And do you swear or affirm the testimony you'll provide in this matter will be true?
Yes, sir.
And are you testifying from personal knowledge or from an investigative report?
The investigative report.
Thank you. Feel free to proceed.
On 6/4/25 at approximately 10:45 hours, Corporal Machikowski and Corporal Neshelhowski responded to the Fifth Third Bank located at 7041 Schaefer Road in Dearborn, Michigan for a subject attempting to cash a fraudulent check. 7041 Schaefer is located in the city of Dearborn, County Wayne, State of Michigan. On arrival, Corporal Machikowski spoke with Fatima Musa, who was the teller at the bank. Musa advised that Travion Rutledge approached her window and attempted to cash a check that had the business name of Hillsdale Quick Loop LLC on it. Musa provided officers with the check number 2432, which had Rutledge's name in the payable line of the check. The check that Rutledge was attempting to cash was in the amount of $1,700. Musa advised that Hillsdale Quick Loop LLC had an account with Fifth Third Bank, so she looked up the owner's contact information and contacted him via telephone. Musa and Corporal Machikowski contacted Salah Abogail, who advised that he's the owner of the Quick Lube LLC. Abogail advised Musa that check 2432 was a fraudulent check, and he further stated that he had this exact check number in his checkbook at the time, and the copy of the check was still blank. Abogail advised that he does not know Travion Rutledge, nor did he give Rutledge permission to cash a check belonging to his company. Abogail further advised that the valid checks that he owns are in a different color and design than the orange and white check that Rutledge was attempting to cash. Corporal Machikowski and Corporal Neshelhowski arrested Rutledge for uttering and publishing. Detective Corporal Nishaw was assigned the case to investigate. He reviewed the police report that was generated by Corporal Machikowski. And he also reviewed body-worn camera front officers on scene and found that report generated accurately reflected what was officers. Detective Nishaw responded to the Dearborn jail to speak with Rutledge. Rutledge was escorted to the jail interview room so he could be recorded with both audio and video. Rutledge was provided his constitutional rights, and he signed the constitutional rights form and agreed to speak. Rutledge stated he was on the east side of Detroit when a white F-150 pulled up to him and asked if he wished to make $500. Rutledge agreed and entered the pickup truck. The driver, the occupants ultimately drove Rutledge to the Fifth Third Bank in Dearborn to cash the check. Rutledge provided his ID card to the driver, and the driver of the pickup truck wrote Rutledge's name on the check. Rutledge advised that he walked into the Fifth Third branch in Dearborn, walked up to the counter, and attempted to cash the check. Rutledge advised he was told he could keep $500 from the cash check, and the occupants of the pickup truck would keep the remainder. Rutledge advised that he had a feeling that something wasn't right, but he thought it sounded good to make some fast cash because the cell phone service had been turned off earlier in the day. The interview was terminated and Rutledge was returned to his jail cell. That's the conclusion.
Thank you. I do find probable cause to sign the warrant, counsel. Mr. Rutledge, your name for the record, please.
Travion Rutledge.
Thank you. And this will be case 8225-712-857, State of Michigan versus Travion Rutledge, counsel.
Janice Stevenson, appearing on behalf of Travion Rutledge. He stands mute, waives the reading of the information. Asks that a plea of not guilty be entered on his behalf. Mr. Rutledge has been advised of his rights, Your Honor.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf. As to bond.
It's a non-assaultive, Your Honor. I am not aware of any prior criminal history from Mr. Rutledge, who is 22 years old. He's had the opportunity to stay over there in jail, Your Honor, at least since, I don't know if it's the 3rd or the 4th of June. So 3 or 4 days he's been in jail, non-assaultive. I'm asking some personal bond, Mr. Rutledge, in court. No objection, no contact with that Fifth Third Bank, Your Honor.
Okay. Sir, while this case is pending, you're not to have any contact with any Fifth Third Bank. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Court will set bond at $5,000 personal. Next court date is probable cause conference, June 18. Preliminary exam, June 25th, both in 19th District Court in Dearborn. Anything else for this record?
No, thank you very much, Your Honor.
That at Dearborn. Okay. Thank you, Dearborn. Have a great day.
Thank you. Take care. Also.
Okay, so that's all the out counties. And what are we looking like on DDC?
So I at least have every on page 1. The only interview I'm still waiting for is number 4, and that may be done by now. On page 2, we've gotten 3 of those done, maybe more. I'll check again. And then we've gotten 2 done on page 3. I don't know about page 4 yet.
Okay, is there any point at which we can like get started and while someone else finishes up the interview?
Yes, and I would advise the court that with regard to the matter for which Mr. Attorney Jordan is representing people, I have, okay, so we've interviewed co-defendant up there. So I think that Mr. Jordan does not have, so I think we can probably be ready to go.
Looks like DDC is ready, so.
Okay.
Oh, I don't have any files. I don't know what I'm going, as Shakespeare would say, I've gone before my cart to market.
And I was going right with you, so okay.
Right. All right.
Great.
Mr. Jordan, as soon as we get some files, we'll be ready to get started.
Thank you, Your Honor, and good morning, Ms. Stevenson.
Good morning, Mr. Jordan.
Red wine was your last one we did for Detroit, right?
All right, good morning. I've got 3 counsels on. I'm just waiting on files from our criminal division, and as soon as I get the files, we'll be ready to get started.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, was red wine the last one you did from Detroit?
Let's see. Red wine, that's been a minute. Let's see, Canterbury. No. Red wine was a while ago.
No, he said red wine was the last one.
Oh, let me see. Hold on. Maybe, yeah, red wine was the last one.
Red wine was the last one.
Yeah. There was some sort of change to it.
All right.
Yeah.
And you're ready to do a final list.
Okay.
I just got an out county at 12:32.
Yeah,
Let me let them know.
right.
We'll be here tomorrow.
Like 2 hours late, you know.
We'll be here tomorrow.
See what we got.
We'll find out who Honey Bun is.
Ah.
We decided to go with it.
Honey bun hung up finally. Mr. Basant, who do you have again?
Good afternoon, y'all. I have a Dion Lyons, Lyons. Did he make your docket?
Lions?
Yes.
Do you have a Lions?
Let me go to check.
All right. We're checking on that. And Mr.
Thank you.
Noslin, who do you have?
I have Mr. Brian, I want to say Brian Williams. Is that the gentleman?
Brian Williams.
Hold on. You only got one Brian on your docket. Hold on.
Okay. You got more info than I do. I don't have a list yet, so.
Brian Williams, that's it.
All right, sounds good. As soon as I get some files, we'll get started. Ms. Markovich, who were you on again?
Yes,
Copeland?
good afternoon. I'm here on Kaylin Copeland.
Okay. And boom, and Jordan has the 4 on the 5-bagger.
Right.
Yep. Okay. All right. As soon as I get some files, we'll get going.
Thank you.
Yep.
Who's the other one?
Brian Williams, and then do you have a Lions on your list? Lyons.
I see Lions.
Okay. Mr. Basant, I'm hearing that Lions perhaps didn't make the list.
All right, Judge, I'll zoom in tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep.
Yep. And okay, DDC, we're ready when you are.
Mr. Boyer,
Hi, how are you?
are you Joe Boyer?
Correct.
We have a mutual friend,
Okay.
Mr. Mark Schreeman.
Oh, yeah. How's he doing?
Good. I used to work for Mark, and I got to tell you a quick funny story. I was dealing on a case with an attorney, and I mentioned I used to work for Mark. And he said, well, I don't know Mark, but I got a divorce with this attorney, Joe Schreeman. And I said, I think I knew when that attorney Joe Schreeman came into the world.
Wow, that is something.
Small world.
Yeah, I used to share office space with Mark back in the late 90s.
Oh yeah, I remember Mark and Serena and George and the whole crew. The old Wayne Juvie crew. Good folks.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice to see you again, Magistrate.
Good to see you. DDC, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Magistrate Boyer.
All right, we've got 3 cases with retained counsels. One of them is Brian Williams, who is number 8 on the first page. We've got Kaylin Copeland, who's number 5 on the second page. And then the 5-bagger, beginning right under Kaylin Copeland, has retained counsel.
Okay.
All right. And good afternoon, sir. What's your name, please? Did you say Brian Keith Williams?
Yes, sir.
All right, this will be case 25-057-713, State of Michigan versus Brian Keith Williams. Counsel, your appearance, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Eric Naslund, and I'm appearing for the defendant in place of the attorney of record is going to be Jeff Perlman, or is Jeff Perlman. And but I'm appearing today for purposes of this arraignment hearing.
Thank you. Do you waive formal reading?
We do waive formal reading and stand mute, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. As to bond.
As I understand it, Your Honor, my client is 53 years old, either very long or lifelong resident of the city of Detroit or Southeast Michigan. He has virtually no criminal record. He's dealing with some serious medical issues. Respectfully, given the nature of the charges, he's not a flight risk. There's no risk to the public. And we would respectfully ask for a reasonable or personal bond in this matter.
Thank you. And I take it from reading the report and just good sense, he's no longer working at the location?
I believe
where
that's
these. Okay. Let's see. All right, sir, while this case is pending, you're to have no contact with any vulnerable adults. Court will set bond at $20,000 personal. Next court date is June 16, probable cause conference, June 23rd, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Giles here in 36th District Court. Anything else for this record?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you very much. Have a great day and a great weekend.
Thank you. You too. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name, please? I'm sorry, one more time? Thank you. This will be case 25-058028, State of Michigan versus Kaylin Travion Copeland, counsel.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Camilla Barkovic, P78254, appearing on behalf of Mr. Copeland, who is present by way of Zoom.
Thank you. Do you waive formal reading?
Yes, Your Honor, we do waive formal reading. Stand mute. Ask that the court enter a not guilty plea on the defendant's behalf.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf. As to bond, please.
Judge, I acknowledge the number of charges that my client is facing, and I know that this is a bold request, but I wouldn't advance it if I didn't believe it to be appropriate. I'm asking for a personal bond. Mr. Copeland is 27 years old. He is a lifelong Michigan resident. He is a high school graduate. He has minor children who reside with him in the local area in an established residence. He has a history of gainful employment. He has absolutely no history of non-appearance in connection with court proceedings. I have represented him in numerous matters. He has always maintained contact with my office and always shown up at court when he is required to do so. I believe that he has an excellent defense to the instant case, and obviously he's presumed innocent at this point in time. For those reasons, Judge, I'm asking for a personal bond, and I'm hopeful that you will consider that request. If you're not willing to grant a personal, then I'm asking for a low cash surety bond with a 10% provision.
And what's his current employment situation?
Mr. Copeland, can you please identify your current employment for the court?
I work at FCA.
Okay. All right. Well, in an effort to not have him lose his job, I won't put a GPS tether on him, which I was going to do, but that would hold him there for a few days and also may give him some grief when he shows up to the job. So I won't do that. But in the meantime, sir, you were to have no contact with Ms. Berry. Don't go to her house, don't call her, don't text her, don't reach out to her on social media, don't try to get in touch with her through anybody else. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Additionally, you're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon while this case is pending. Is that clear?
So,
Court said bond at $50,000, $50,000 personal. Next court date is June 16, probable cause conference, June 23rd, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Jakay here in 36th District Court. Anything else for this record?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Mr. Copeland will be in touch.
Ms. Stevenson.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have a couple of law students in the waiting room?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your
Right.
Honor, this might be a tight fit. I can maybe do. Can you guys speak?
Yeah, let's do these. Are these the 4 retained ones?
Yes.
All right, let's do them first and we can do the 5th one separately.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen, starting with your right. What are your names? Yep.
Kenneth Lamar Clay, sir.
Thank you. Okay.
Montre Devon Walker.
Okay.
He's Joy Walker.
Thank you. All right, this will be case 25-058-027-01, 2, 3, and 4. Demontre Devon Walker, DeMarquise Joy Walker, Davion Christopher Walker, and Kenneth Lamar Clay Stubbs, counsel.
Good morning or good afternoon, Your Honor. Attorney Carl Jordan, P 57226, appearing on behalf of DeMontre Walker. Your Honor, I'm also appearing on behalf of Davion Walker and DeMarquez Walker, as well as Kenneth Clay Stubbs, but I'm only appearing on behalf of all of them for today's purposes. After today, I will be representing DeMontre Walker. And just so these gentlemen know, that is because there might be conflict of interest issues. So for today, I'm representing all of them, but after today, DeMontre Walker only, Your Honor.
Thank you. Do you waive formal reading?
We waive a formal reading as to each defendant and ask that a not guilty plea be entered on each of their behalfs, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond, please.
Your Honor, with respect to DeMontre Walker, his education is he's attending the University of Arizona Global. His work is he works for Lacoa Devon, that's an Italian shoe and leather company. He also has other business ventures as an entrepreneur. He also helps out his mother with her medical issues. He does not have any priors as I can see, and I believe, notwithstanding the fact that it is a serious charge, I believe a personal bond would be appropriate or a low cash bond with respect to DeMontre Walker. Would you like for me to move on to the other defendants, Your Honor?
Yes.
With respect to Davion Walker, he attended Pershing High School, graduated from there. He has a 3-year-old son. He also helps out his mother, the same mother, of course, that DeMontre helps out. And he works at GUAPS, G-U-A-P-S, Property Management. Also, with respect to Davion, he does have a prior, but that prior is, I believe it's only for CCW, nothing assaultive or anything more serious than that. Your Honor, with respect to DeMarquise Walker, he is currently attending Macomb Community College. He works for Prada, and he also is a property manager. He does not have any children. He does, of course, have his brothers and his mother as well. And lastly, Your Honor, with respect to Kenneth Clay Stubbs, he graduated from Cody High School. He has a mechanical license. He also is attending trade school. He works for the National Co-Staff, National Services, and also in HR management. I believe, Your Honor, with respect to each one of these defendants, and I should state that Mr. Clay Stubbs does have a prior for resisting an officer. I don't believe he has any missed court appearances. So none of them have any lengthy criminal history. DeMontre and DeMarquez don't have any criminal history at all. I believe that this is an isolated incident, one that they will fully litigate. In any event, I believe that a personal bond is appropriate for each one of these defendants or a low cash bond. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, so for each of them, bond conditions will be as follows. They're not to use or possess any marijuana or any illegal controlled substances. They're not to possess any firearms. They have no contact with the complainant, Mr. Paul. Total set bond for each of the 4 defendants at 50,000, 50,000, 10%. That will give them all a bond redetermination hearing on, is there anything special about this weekend? No. They'll all go on June 9th in front of Judge McConico. Further dates after that are probable cause conference, June 16th, preliminary exam, June 23rd, both in front of Judge Jefferson. Anything else for this record, Mr. Jordan?
No, Your Honor, thank you. And I would like to each one of these defendants to know I will contact your mother and make arrangements for either a bondsman or I will come and see them. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a great day. Huh? 50,000, 10.
Or 10, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, did he? Oh, he didn't have the.
Huh?
He didn't have the one. He was only represent 4 of them.
Yeah, it's just the 4. Yeah, there's a 5th one that's not retained.
Your Honor, what was the 5th guy's name?
The 5th guy is named McCoy, Larry McCoy.
I'll see. I'll see. McCoy. McCoy. Black man. Oh, okay. How you doing, Your Honor?
I'm doing good. How about you, sir? All right, what's your name, sir?
Larry Otis McCoy, Your Honor.
Thank you. This is case 25-058-02705, State of Michigan versus Larry Otis McCoy, counsel.
For the record, Your Honor, Janice Stevenson appearing on behalf of Larry Otis McCoy. He stands mute, waives the reading of the information as to the plea of not guilty be entered on his behalf. Mr. McCoy has been advised of his rights, Your Honor.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask the court to release Mr. McCoy on personal bond. And looking over the investigator's report, which, I assume that I'll be factual, but it is, interesting that Mr. McCoy was not a part of whatever was going on allegedly with the co-defendant. The complaining witness, according to Mr. McCoy, and the police were not able to make contact with, according to that investigator's report. According to Mr. McCoy, whatever property he had, he was directed to retrieve that property by the complainant. So I was having trouble finding out what robbery Mr. McCoy was even supposed to have participated in, and kind of looking at the progression of the allegations, it looks like whatever robbery may or may not have taken place would have taken place after Mr. McCoy wasn't even there anymore. So Mr. McCoy is 41 years old. He works in landscaping. Prior convictions that he has that bring about the Hapworth notice are all non-assaultive. And the most recent, I think, is 2012. I don't see anything between 2012 and today. Mr. McCoy does not have, according to that investigator's report, there's no relationship between him and those co-defendants, and he's only charged with the one. And I think there are going to be, some real problems with people meeting their burden of proof if they don't have the cooperation of complaining witness number one, and if they're not able to tie Mr. McCoy to whatever robbery was supposed to have taken place. Definitely, I don't see that he had any weapons. So I don't know if they're going to be able to sustain an aiding and abetting because of the interruption in time between whatever happened with the other people and with Mr. McCoy. I'm asking that he be released on personal bond. Mr. McCoy does not have any money. He's to post for bond. He's a student right now at Wayne County Community College. And, I just have some serious concerns about the likelihood of successful prosecution of this one, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. McCoy, while this case is pending, you are not to use or possess any marijuana or any illegal controlled substances. Is that clear? Additionally, you're not to possess a firearm at any time. You have no contact with the complaining witness, Mr. Paul. Is that clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will set bond at $50,000 personal. Next court date is June 16, probable cause conference. June 23rd, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Jefferson here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Marlowe, Cedric Marlowe. So.
Thank you.
Give me 1 second.
And this will be case 25-058-033, State of Michigan versus Cedric Charles Marlowe. Counsel, whenever you're ready.
Okay, just 1 moment, please.
Mhm.
Thank you, Your Honor. For the record, Janice Stevenson appearing on behalf of Cedric Marlowe. He stands mute, waives the reading of the information, asks the plea of not guilty, and on his behalf, Mr. Marlowe has been advised of his rights, Your Honor.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Your Honor, we would request release on personal bond for Mr. Marlowe. It's non-assaultive. The offense for the second notice, Your Honor, at this point is at 4 years ago. Mr. Marlowe has been advised that he needs to have no contact with the complaining witness and come to court. His order to do so, we'd ask for personal bond.
Thank you, sir. Court will set bond at $10,000 personal. Next court date is June 16, probable cause conference, June 23rd, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Taylor here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
I got him lined up. Got a red short. Red short, come on. Get in here already, man.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir? What was that last name? One more time, a lot louder.
Hedgesbeth.
Thank you. Oh, right here. Okay. This is case 25-058-018, State of Michigan versus Malik Damon Hedgesbeth. Counsel.
Janice Stevenson on behalf of Malik Hedgesbeth, he stands mute, waives the reading of the information, asks that a plea of not guilty be entered on his behalf. Mr. Hedgesbeth has been advised of his rights, Your Honor.
Court will enter not guilty plea, on your client's behalf as to bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Requesting personal bond for this non-assaultive charge. I don't see any prior assaultive convictions, Your Honor. Mr. Hedgespeth is 26 years old. He's gainfully employed, Your Honor, has been advised he should return to court as ordered and abide by all conditions ordered by this court. Thank you, Warren.
Thank you. Court will set bond at $10,000 personal. Next court date is June 16. Probable cause conference, June 23rd. Preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Taylor here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
What do you have?
Hi, what's your name, sir?
My name is Dominic Dior Roberts.
Thank you. This case 25-058-022, State of Michigan versus Dominique Dior Roberts. Counsel.
Janice Stevenson, on behalf of Dominique Roberts, he stands mute, waives the reading of the information as to the plea of not guilty be entered on his behalf. Mr. Roberts has been advised of his rights, Your Honor.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Requesting release on personal bond. No objection against the prohibition of possession of firearms or the consumption of alcohol. Mr. Roberts is 30 years old, Your Honor. I am not aware of any assaultive criminal history, and that other OWI, I think that he's already finished probation on that one, Your Honor. So we don't think there's any risk of flight. Asking for personal bond. We're okay with no guns, no firearms, and no alcohol.
Is he employed?
Yes, Your Honor. He actually is a small business owner. He owns a rental car company, Your Honor. Rental car service, I guess we want to call it.
Okay. All right, sir. While this case is pending, you are not to consume alcohol at any time. Is that clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Additionally, you're not to possess a firearm at any time. Is that clear?
Yes.
And no driving without a valid license. Court will set bond in this matter at $10,000 personal. Next court date is June 16, probable cause conference, June 23rd, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Giles here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside. Good afternoon. What's your name, sir? I'm sorry, one more time, much louder than that. The mics are bad over there.
Robert Press Shorter Jr.
Thank you, sir. One moment. And this will be case 25-055-816, State of Michigan versus Robert Press Shorter Jr. Counsel.
The record, Your Honor, Janice Stevenson appearing on behalf of Robert Shorter. Your Honor, could I have just a moment on this one? My apologies to the court, Your Honor. Could we have Mr. Shorter recalled? I'm not certain that he's been interviewed.
Okay. Mr. Shorter, did you talk with a defense lawyer this morning?
Oh, I have a paid lawyer.
Oh, who's your lawyer?
Steve Sharp.
I'm sorry, one more time?
Steve Sharp.
All right, and this is a delicate question. Have you just talked with him or did someone actually pay him? Because I haven't seen him this morning.
The attorney that they had me talking to, they will be here.
Ms. Stevenson, did you confirm that his counsel has actually been retained?
I think that Mr. Reagan is waiting to talk to Ms. Shorter. So
Okay.
I don't think that that's been confirmed yet.
Okay. DDC, can you put him on camera too to talk to Mr. Reagan? And Ms. Stevenson, can you have Reagan go to camera 2, please?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Thank you. That happens all too frequently.
Talking to him right now, Your Honor.
Okay, thanks. Good afternoon, sir. What's your name, please?
Curtis Lewis.
Thank you. This will be case 25-057-880, State of Michigan versus Earl Curtis Lewis III, counsel.
Janice Stevenson appearing on behalf of Earl Curtis Lewis III. He stands mute, waives the reading of the information, asks that a plea of not guilty be entered on his behalf. Mr. Lewis has been advised of his rights, Your Honor.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. As the court is aware, the incident date, as alleged, is from last summer. It's our understanding, Your Honor, that Mr. Lewis and the complaining witness have not been having any problems over the last several months. He has been forthright with us and advised us that I don't think there was any no contact conditions. So they've actually been living with each other, Your Honor, for over a year now, but Mr. Lewis can secure an alternate residence with a different relative if that's the order of the court. We would ask the court to consider no assaultive contact, but unless and until that's ordered, Mr. Lewis would have no contact with the complaining witness. If the court does order no contact, we're just asking for a one-time police escort for Mr. Lewis to retrieve some personal belongings. Mr. Lewis is employed at this time. He does have 3 children in this community that he is supporting, so he's desperately trying to get back to work, having incarcerated since I think the day before yesterday and missing work, Judge. So he'd ask for personal bond, ask for no assaultive contact, but understand the court was ordering, will abide by all court orders.
Okay, so here's what we'll do. It'll be no contact with Ms. Loggins, no contact with the Santa Rosa address. You can go over one-time police escorted visit to obtain any belongings. And court will set bond at 10,000 personal. Next court date is June 16, probable cause conference, June 23rd, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Jakay here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
Good afternoon. My name is Pedro Rodriguez.
Thank you. This is case 23-044-534, State of Michigan versus Pedro Rodriguez, counsel.
Janice Stevenson, on behalf of Pedro Rodriguez, he stands mute, waives the reading of the information. Asks that a plea of not guilty be entered on his behalf. Mr. Rodriguez has been advised with rights, Your Honor.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Your Honor, we would ask the court to release Mr. Rodriguez on personal bond. We have no objection to no contact with the complaining witness. I don't believe that the parties are living at the same address. Excuse me, Your Honor.
They were written up as the same address, but this comes from 2022. So are they still
Exactly.
together or?
The information I have is that they're not in a relationship at this time, Your Honor, so no objection to no contact.
Okay. All right, sir, while this case is pending, you'd have no contact with Ms. Alfaro, is that clear? And court will set bond at $5,000 personal. Next court date is a pretrial, June 18, in front of Judge Garrett. I believe that's going to be an in-person hearing here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside. Yeah, we might make 3 o'clock. Good afternoon, sir. What's your name, please?
Joseph Gerald Allen Jr.
Thank you. And this will be 25-058-012, State of Michigan versus Joseph Gerald Allen Jr. Counsel.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, this is,
Joseph Allen.
for the records, Your Honor, Janice Stevenson, appearing on behalf of Mr. Allen. Stands mute. I'm sorry, Judge. Stands mute, waives the reading of the information, asks that a plea of not guilty be entered on his behalf. Mr. Allen has been advised of his nature.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Allen is 61 years old, Your Honor. Doesn't have to have any contact whatsoever with the Ms. Adams, I think it is, Your Honor. Mr. Allen is receiving Social Security disability as a source of income, so he does not have any money to be to post his bond. It looks like the matter, he was initially arrested, Your Honor, and then released after his whole time expired. Went back home and was rearrested again, Your Honor. He didn't change his address and knows that he's got to be in court when he's supposed to. So I don't believe that Mr. Allen presents any risk of flight. We're okay with no contact with Ms. Adams, and we're requesting release on personal bond.
One moment. Is your client employed?
He is not, Your Honor.
All right, sir, while this case is pending, you are to have no contact with the complaining witness, and you are not to possess a firearm at any time. Is that clear to you?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Additionally, you'll be on GPS tether on house arrest. You leave your house, you're going back to jail. Is that clear? Court will set bond on this matter at $50,000 personal. Next court date, June 16, probable cause conference, June 23rd, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Taylor here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside. Hi, what's your name again?
Robert Fresh Short Jr.
Thank you. And it's the case 25-055-816, State of Michigan versus Robert Press Shorter Jr. Counsel.
Janice Stevenson appearing on behalf of Robert Shorter. He does stand mute, waives the reading of the information, asks the plea of not guilty be entered on his behalf. Mr. Shorter has been advised of his rights, Your Honor.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to by.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is the first arraignment for Mr. Shorter on this case from 2023, which is non-assaultive. Mr. Shorter, we believe, has retained Attorney Shark, who will be present on this case for all future appearances. Mr. Shorter is employed at this time, Your Honor. He's only 20 years old, and I am not aware of any assaultive criminal history. These are all non-assaultive charges. I'm asking for release on personal bond. No objection against the to the prohibition of the use of firearms, Your Honor.
And what are his work hours?
Mr. Shorter, what time do you go to work? What time do you get off? And what days of the week do you work, sir?
7 days out the week, but I usually get going like 10 to 5. I'm a beat maker.
So 10 to 5, what days of the week?
7 days out the week.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You say he's a beat maker, as in music producer?
You
What do
you
do,
work in
sir?
the entertainment industry, Mr. Shorter? Okay, yes, yes, Your Honor.
Is your studio and or equipment at your home, or do you need to go somewhere else to use it?
I go to the studio.
All right. You said 10 to 5, right? While this case is pending, you're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. You have no driving whatsoever. No drive. Allegations here, you were going 95 miles an hour on a surface street while being followed by state troopers and a state trooper helicopter. You will have a GPS tether. Curfew on that tether is 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. You need to be at home during those hours. Court will set bond at $20,000 personal. Next court date is June 16, probable cause conference, June 23rd, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Giles here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Your Honor, what was the curfew again, please? I'm sorry.
9 p.m. to 8 a.m.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, no.
Good afternoon. What's your name, please?
Good afternoon. I'm Mario Keith.
Thank you. This case 25-058-025, State of Michigan versus Mario Keith Jenkins, counsel.
Janice Stevenson appearing on behalf of Mario Jenkins, stands mute, waives the reading of the information, asks for the plea of not guilty enter on his behalf. Mr. Jenkins has been advised of his right term.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. It's non-assaulted. Mr. Jenkins is seeking employment at this time. No criminal history that I'm aware of, and we are requesting release.
Thank you. Excuse me, sir, while this case is pending, you are not to possess a firearm at any time. Is that clear?
Yes.
Court will set bond at $5,000 personal. Next court date will be June 16, probable cause conference in front of Judge Robbins. June 23rd, preliminary exam in front of Judge Giles, both here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Have a great.
You too. Hi, what's your name, please?
Brandon Charles Taylor.
Thank you. And this will be 25-058-024, State of Michigan versus Brandon Charles Taylor, counsel.
Janice Stevenson appearing on behalf of Brandon Taylor. He stands mute, waives a reading of the information, asks that a plea of not guilty be entered on his behalf. Mr. Taylor has been advised of his rights, Your Honor.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Mr. Taylor has given us an address separate from that of the complaining witness, Your Honor, and we would have no objection to a no contact condition. Mr. Taylor is working at this time, Your Honor. I don't have a work schedule. He works in home improvement, but he does have 4 children that he's using his income to help support. No objection to no firearms, Your Honor. No objection to no alcohol. We'd ask that Mr. Taylor be released on personal bond.
Thank you. One moment. What do you say his employment situation is?
He does home improvement, Your Honor. I don't have an objection to the court inquiring as to the work schedule.
I'm assuming it's during the day, right?
Yes, Your Honor, yes.
All right, sir, while this case is pending, you're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. You're to have no contact with Miss Ivory whatsoever. Don't call her, don't text her, don't go to her house, don't reach out to her on social media, don't have anyone contact her on your behalf. Is that clear? Also, no contact with the Lang Street address. You will have a GPS tether. Curfew on that tether will be 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. Court will set bond in this matter at $10,000 personal. Next court date, June 16, probable cause conference, June 23rd, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Jefferson. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. What's your name, please?
Alvin Leon Tober. Sir.
Did you say Tober?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. This will be case 25-058-029, State of Michigan versus Alvin Leon Tober, counsel.
For the record, Your Honor, Janice Stevenson appearing on behalf of Alvin Tober. He stands mute, waives the reading of the information, asks that a plea of not guilty be entered on his behalf. Mr. Tober has been advised of his rights, Your Honor.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Asking for personal bond, Your Honor. The most recent conviction that brought about that half-third notice is from 2018. I don't see anything in the interim. Mr. Tober is employed, Your Honor, and he's also in truck driving school. We would ask again for personal bonds, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. While this case is pending, you are not to possess a firearm at any time. Is that clear to you? Court will set bond at $10,000 personal. Next court date, June 16. Probable cause conference, June 23rd, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Giles here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside. Just right. Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
White Galloway.
This is case 25-058-030, State of Michigan versus Dwight Anthony Galloway. Counsel.
Janice Stevenson on behalf of Dwight Galloway. He stands mute, waives the reading of the information as to the plea of not guilty be entered on his behalf. Mr. Galloway has been advised of his rights, Your Honor.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Your Honor, Mr. Galloway, these are non-assaultive charges, Your Honor. No objection to no contact with the complaining witness listed in the complaint, Your Honor. Mr. Galloway wants the court to know that at the time he was arrested, he had two pets, two dogs that he had to put in cages, and he thinks that they're still in those cages, not having gotten any attention. So Mr. Galloway knows he's got to be in court, knows he's got to abide by court orders. Concern for his pets, we're asking for release on personal bond, Your
Honor. I would say something sarcastic, but I won't. It's Saturday, right? But as to your comment of non-assaultive charges, I would note count 6 is a aggravated DV, which clearly involves allegations of inflicting serious or aggravated injuries. So I would quarrel with your assessment of this being a non-assaultive case.
I'm going to stand corrected. Thank you for that, Your Honor. I have all the charges right here. I stand corrected on that completely.
Let's see. Oh, alleged to have put a handgun in the complainant's mouth and threatened to kill her. Yeah, I'd say that's assaultive.
I would agree that those are assaultive allegations, Your Honor.
What's his a Glock switch? Okay, great. What's his employment situation again?
Your Honor, Mr. Galloway is employed at this time at a local manufacturing establishment. I would have no objection to the court making inquiry as to his work schedule, Your Honor.
What hours do you work, sir?
2 to 10, second shift. And they give us
2 p.m. to 10 p.m.?
Yes, sir. They give us overtime, it's 2 p.m. to 12 p.m.
Okay. All right, sir, while this case is pending, you're not possessed of firearm or any other dangerous weapon. Is that clear to you?
Can you say it again?
You're not to possess a gun while this case is pending.
Yes, sir.
Additionally, you have no contact with Ms. Johnson. Is that clear?
No.
And no contact with the Greenfield address. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
You will have a GPS tether. Curfew on that tether will be 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. That should give you plenty of time for your work schedule. Court will set bond this matter $20,000 personal. Next court date, June 16, probable cause conference, June 23rd, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Jakay here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Thank you.
All right, what's your name, sir?
DeAndre Johnson.
Thank you. This case 25-058-031, State of Michigan versus Javante DeAndre Johnson. Counsel.
Janice Stevenson, appearing on behalf of Javante Johnson. He stands mute, waives the reading of the information, asks that a plea of not guilty be entered on his behalf. Mr. Johnson has been advised of his rights, Your Honor.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Asking for personal bond, it's non-assaultive, Your Honor. I'm not aware of any prior criminal history.
Thank you. Court will set bond at $5,000 personal. Next court date is June 16, probable cause conference in front of Judge Robbins. June 23rd, preliminary exam in front of Judge Taylor, both here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Still got the leg.
Still got the lady. You got 3 females, right?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name, please?
Joe Hamer.
Sorry, what was that last name?
Hamer.
Thank you. And this case 25-058-038, State of Michigan versus Reginald Dwayne Hamer. Counsel.
For the record, Your Honor, Janice Stevenson appearing on behalf of Reginald Hamer. He stands mute, waives the reading of the information, asks that a plea of not guilty be entered on his behalf. Mr. Hamer has been advised of his rights, Your Honor.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Your Honor, Mr. Hamer is 68 years old. He's not working at this time, Your Honor. He was recently released from the hospital, Your Honor. He does have pretty serious health concerns that he's battling at this time. He has some medications that he needs and has not received them. I would ask the court to release Mr. Hamer on personal bond. Double checking. I don't see any assaultive criminal. Well, I don't see any recent criminal history, Your Honor. Nothing since 1999. There is that robbery second offense. I would argue that that's not assaultive, but anyway, they're old. So I'm asking for personal bond.
Robbery second and burglary third. And they are out of the state of New York, but it's your contention those are non-assaultive. Is that what I'm hearing, Counselor?
I think I corrected myself and said they're old. So 1988 and 1999. Back before people were making beats.
Okay. Sir, while this case is pending, you are not to possess a firearm. Is that clear? Additionally, you're not to use or possess marijuana. Is that clear? Court will set bond at $10,000 personal. Next court date is June 16, probable cause conference, June 23rd, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Jefferson here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Hold up.
All right, what's your name, sir? Thank you. And this is 25-056-510, State of Michigan versus Joseph Lemon White. Counsel.
Janice Stevenson appearing on behalf of Joseph White. He stands mute, waives the reading of the information, asks the plea of not guilty be entered on his behalf. Mr. White has been advised of his rights, Your Honor.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. White has no contact with the complaining witnesses, Your Honor, and will continue to have no contact with those individuals. The incident as alleged at this point, is over a year old. Not quite certain why it took so long to get the warrant issued, but Mr. White has been advised that he's 27 years old, Your Honor, has some health concerns that he needs to have some medication for that he has not received during his time of incarceration. Mr. White does understand that he's got to be in court when he's supposed to be in court, and he's got to make sure that he stays away from these individuals that we discussed during our interview with him. So I'm asking for personal bond, Your Honor.
Is Stevenson, I know one of the last entries in the police report is that defendant was taken to receiving hospital for medical and psych clearance and was seen by a doctor who stated he wanted to keep him for further evaluation / treatment. Do you have any indication of what happened along those lines?
I don't, Your Honor. I do know that, at this point, that's like a year after, a year ago. So I don't have any information about any involuntary commitment. I know that Mr. White does have some physical and mental health issues for which he is being treated, Your Honor. Competency may be something that we look at in the future, Your Honor, but I don't know of any hospitalization. And it's last year that this happened. Unfortunately. I don't know how long he stayed there, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sir. While this case is pending, you are not to possess a firearm or any instrument that can be used as a dangerous weapon. You have no contact with either of the complaining witnesses, and you are not to have any contact with the area of Woodward and Elizabeth or anything around Hockeytown or the Bog Park or Fox Theater, nothing in that area. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Stevenson, does Mr. White have sufficient housing at this time?
Your Honor, I believe that Mr. White is unsheltered at this time.
I mean, I'd like to make sure that he gets back so that we can get him evaluated and if he needs treatment. And I'm just hesitant to give him a personal, I don't know that he's going to come back. What are your thoughts?
Your Honor, I'd have no objection to, in this instance, tether to, the team or Christian Guidance Center or something like that. They could give him some assistance with housing, and they could give him some assistance with keeping his court date, Your Honor.
All right, this is what we'll do. You're not possessing a dangerous weapon. think I already said that, right? Yeah. Okay, the final condition of bond will be GPS tether. You can be tethered to any facility that will accept you with that tether on. And court will set bond at $20,000 personal. Next court date is June 16, probable cause conference, June 23rd, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Giles here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Thank you, Your Honor. Take care, Mr. White.
Hi, what's your name, sir? Thank you.
I believe he has a code at the same time.
Yeah. Can we get the Cody up at the same time? Gentleman in the white shirt, what's your name? Did you say Levon Wilkes? All right, this will be case 25-058-036-01 and 02, State of Michigan versus Levon Albert Wilkes and Sakari Armin Cooper, counsel.
For the record, Your Honor, Janice Stevenson appearing on behalf of Levon Wilkes and on behalf of Sakari Cooper. My clients will stand mute. Requested a plea of not guilty be entered on their behalf. That each of my clients has been advised of their rights, Your Honor.
Court will enter not guilty pleas for both defendants as to bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wilkes is 19 years old. He's still a high school student, Your Honor, but he is working. I believe Mr. Wilkes does live locally with his dad. He's lived in this area for his entire life, Your Honor. He is presumed innocent of these charges. Mr. Cooper is 21 years old. He is working as well, Your Honor. I don't have work schedules for each of my clients. I don't have an objection to the court making inquiry as to that, but these charges, they're serious, particularly considering the age of my client, Your Honor, but they are non-assaultive. They've each had the pleasure of sitting over there at the Detroit Detention Center since at least Wednesday or Thursday, Your Honor, with the possibility of being incarcerated over at the Wayne County Jail, kind of just hanging over their heads. I don't think that that's been a pleasant emotional experience for either of them. So I would ask the court to take a chance on Mr. Wilkes and on behalf of Mr. Cooper, give them an opportunity to demonstrate that they can abide by court orders, come to court when they're supposed to. And other than that, just be in school and be at work, move their lives on a positive trajectory, Your Honor.
Mr. Wilkes, what are your work hours, sir?
2 p.m. until 10, or sometime they make it 12 hours, so I won't get off to 2.
And what about school?
I have to do my schoolwork before I go into work, so I wake up around like 6 and be done like 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and Mr. Wilkes, did you say Mr. Wilkes is working or?
Yes, Your Honor.
What are your work hours, sir?
2 to 10.
No, Mr. Wilkes, the other guy.
Mr. Cooper?
Oh, Cooper, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I get off at 5:30.
And when do you start? What time do you start? What time do you start? Thanks. Okay, for both of you, the bond conditions will be not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. Mr. Wait. This is the one that's in school, right? Is there a correction tape up here? Thanks. All right. No guns. As to Mr. Wilkes, you will have a GPS tether. It'll be unrestricted as to time and place because of your more complicated schedule. Mr. Cooper, you'll have a GPS tether. Curfew on that tether will be 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. You need to be at home during those hours. Court will set bond in this matter at $20,000 personal for each defendant. Next court date is June 16, probable cause conference, June 23rd, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Taylor here in 36th District Court. Thank you, gentlemen. You can step aside.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Ms. Stevenson, do you have a Ms. Sheik as a law student in the waiting room?
I don't know the third name. Yes, Your Honor, yes.
Sarah?
She was there yesterday. Yeah.
Okay. All right, and gentleman in DDC, what's your name, please?
Camp.
Oh, Tremont Camp? All right, this will be case 25-058-032, State of Michigan versus Tremont Leonte Camp. Counsel.
Janice Stevenson appearing on behalf of Tremont Camp. He stands mute, waives the reading of the information as to the plea of not guilty be entered on his behalf. Mr. Camp has been advised of his rights, Your Honor.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Camp is currently under the supervision of Circuit Court, Wayne County Circuit Court Probation Department. We believe therefore that he presents no risk of flight. It's a non-assaultive charge. Mr. Camp is employed with a local tire company. Has lived in this community for his entire life, Your Honor. Again, we believe he's going to be in court because if he's not, he risks being arrested for probation. So I would ask that he on personal bond.
And so he's currently on probation for the police officer resisting obstructing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is he working?
Yes, he is, Your Honor. I don't have a work schedule. Yes.
Court will set bond at $10,000 personal. Next court date is June 17. Conference, June 24, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Giles here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We should make 3 o'clock. Good. There you go. Here we go. Nice and center. Hi, what's your name, sir?
Dean Canterbury.
Thank you. And this will be 25-058-037, State of Michigan versus Dean Christopher Canterbury, counsel.
Janice Stevenson appearing on behalf of Dean Canterbury. He stands mute, waives the reading of the information, asks the plea of not guilty behalf. Mr. Canterbury has been advised of his rights, Your Honor.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Canterbury is 57 years old, Your Honor. He does self-employed construction work. His work schedule is as needed. As he gets a job, he goes to work. I don't see any prior criminal history, Your Honor. So I am requesting release on personal bond. It's not a assaultive charge.
Ms. Stevenson, if you know, does your, or if you want to say, depending on how you feel, does your client live at this place of offense?
That is not the address he gave us, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been given a completely separate address and a completely separate community, Your Honor.
Yeah, just reading the write-up, it looks like he's getting charged with everything in the dope house when he was there to buy it, but that's mere speculation on my part.
Arresting.
Mere allegations, as you love to point out.
Right. He wasn't even there from my perspective.
Let's see. Okay, sir, while this case is pending, you're not to use or possess any illegal controlled drugs. You're not to go to the Caldwell address at any time for any reason. And court will set bond at $10,000 personal. Next court date is June 17, probable cause conference, June 24, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Giles here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Here.
I signed it. Hi, what's your name, sir?
My name is Joshua Richard Redwine.
Thank you. And this is case 25-058-039, State of Michigan versus Joshua Richard Redwine, counsel.
Janice Stevenson appearing on behalf of Joshua Redwine. He stands mute, waives the reading of the information, asks that a plea of not guilty be entered on his behalf. The Redwine has been advised of his rights, Your Honor.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Requesting release on personal bond for this non-assaultive charge with no assaultive priors. We have a 2015. Nope, that's right. No assaultive priors, Your Honor. Requesting release on personal bond for no assaultive charges here either.
And is he employed?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Redwine does home improvement, and he has 3 children in the community he's supporting with that income.
Do you know his work hours?
Mr. Redwine, what time do you go to work and what time do you get off? And what days of the week do you work?
Well, I work, really 7 days a week. I have my own,
What days, what time do you go to work and what time do you get off?
8:30 in the morning, and, I get off probably about 7 at night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, sir. While this case is pending, I'm gonna have you on a GPS tether. Curfew on that tether will be 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. You need to be in the house during those hours. Court will set bond in this matter at $25,000 personal. Next court date is June 18, probable cause conference, June 25, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Taylor here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Right.
All right, DDC, that's all the males, right?
Yes, sir. I got 2 females, I do believe.
Okay, I've got 3 files, but we'll figure out which one is not there.
What file do you have?
I've got Robina Jordan, Savannah McKenzie, and Yasmin Hill.
Yes, there are, okay, there are 3 females. That Ms. Hill is here.
Okay, sounds good. We'll see you on the female side.
And the females have to still be interviewed, Your Honor. So Mr. Reagan will hop on now. Okay, yeah, all right, yeah.
They still have to be interviewed?
Yes, Your Honor. Apparently, you know, they couldn't bring them to the screen while they had all the males that they.
That is disappointing, but okay, it is
Yeah,
what it is.
Mr. Reagan's all broken up about that.
Yeah, come on, what we paying folks for? Oh.
On it, right?
All right, how long we been on a record? Hour, 2 hours? Reagan could have walked over to DDC to do it.
Can somebody at the DDC just give us some?
They walked over there.
What
and
is
done it.
the real brand of termination?
He's been working on his beats. Couldn't do that.
Oh,
All right, well, let me know when the interviews are done, please.